There is a place, not here or there, but somewhere in between. There is a space in the thin air that really can't be seen. If you listen and observe, you may be surprised. Some may call it Camelot or even paradise. Some may say you cross a bridge, others through a door. But all I know about this place is that I call it Evermore. Evermore.
Good evening, sweet spirits. Welcome to the show. My name is Suzanne Sorrell, and I'm the host of the Evermore Paranormal Network. On this episode, I'm going to be talking to you about spirit clearings. In other words, getting ghosts out of your house. Now, I'm going to use, people have different methods of getting rid of ghosts and spirits. I'm going to use this little, it's called a ghost busting kit that I purchased at a metaphysical store. Now this little kit, it says it's a spirit clearings and then ghost busting kit. In this kit, there are 8 items. And the first 4 I'm going to talk about in this segment are the items that you use to protect yourself before you get started telling the ghost to leave. Okay? So first you want to use something, hold or wear something that represents protection to you. In this kit, it came with a cross. Obviously, if you don't, use a cross or believe in a cross, then use whatever you feel that will protect you. I always wear a cross, by the way, and just because of my beliefs. And even when I go ghost hunting, I wear a huge cross. That cross has been yanked, touched, pulled so many times by spirits. So that's the first line of protection. Like I said, bring some kind of amulet, something that you believe protects you. You got to believe in it. Secondly, protection crystals. Now, you should carry these during the cleansing. We call it a cleansing or a clearing, either way, it's the same thing to me. You carry these. Obviously, your hands are going to be full when we talk about the stuff in the next segment. So you probably want to put these in your pocket or in a bag or something. There are 3 crystals in this kit. One is black obsidian. One is amethyst. I always have a hard time saying that. And one is hematite. Now, black obsidian is known for, it says on the little card that I got with this, a psychic vacuum cleaner by clearing negative energies from oneself and your environment. So that's what this protection crystal does. The second one is amethyst, and this is known or believed to protect one against thieves and negative energies. And third, hematite. Hematite is used to protect, it says, used for protection, shielding the wearer's vital energy by preventing negative energy from entering the auric field. I'm getting tongue-tied right now. But anyway, these 3 crystals you should carry with you. You put them in your pocket or whatever. Now, after the clearing, later in the night, after this, you should put them under your pillow. That's what's recommended. The third item is a Reiki charge protection candle. As you notice, it's black. And when you're doing any kind of metaphysical thing, symbolism is very important and colors are very important. And black is always meant for protection. So you would light this candle and it works in 2 ways. One, it protects you in like your area where this candle's lit, And secondly, when you get into the process of, in the next segment, which we'll talk about, you might want to tell the spirits to go toward the light. So this candle will be lit. Fourth, actually, is protection oil. It says you should anoint yourself. I'm going to shake it up a little bit. Anoint yourself, and I might go ahead and do this. Can never have enough protection when you're dealing with spirits. You should anoint your forehead. Let's see if I can go under my hair here. And I'm making the sign of the cross. That's just my belief. And the other would be on your heart, another cross. You don't have to do a cross, but that is what I do. Now, those 4 items are what you use to prepare yourself for the casting out of the spirit. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll go to the next phase, which is clearing spirits.
My journey skating for the gold taught me a lot, but my journey with breast cancer has been one of my greatest teachers.
Every woman's breast cancer is unique. Be Wiser educates and empowers women to take control of their breast cancer treatment plan and help navigate their own path beyond 5 years.
Talk to your doctor about information and tests to personalize a treatment plan that fits your needs. I did. Be informed, be wiser, support survivors like us.
So, in the first segment, I showed you how to protect yourself. You need to protect yourself first before you start going after the spirits to get out of your house. So, now we're talking about, okay, we're going to clear the spirits. This is when we actually do something to get them to move on. First of all, we have a sage smudge stick. Now, this is wrapped up, but this is a California white sage stick. You've seen this on the shows. But how it works is you light it, and it'll burn at first, and then it'll smolder, and you'll have this smoke coming from it. You definitely need 2 hands. You need really 3 hands. You need some kind of ashtray or plate because the thing is ashes are gonna fall. But you also need to get the smoke to move throughout the area that you're going. So if you have somebody to help you that can take a feather and just kind of waft it in the area that you want it to go. But basically you start in the basement or the lowest floor of your house and you work your way toward the upper floor or the attic. You need to go to every corner of your space, of your house, every corner. Now that I find hard for myself because I got rooms that are full of stuff. I can't get to those corners. But really you need to be thorough if you want the spirits to move on. So you have an ashtray or something, and this is smoldering. You'll see the smoke, and you're going to every corner of every room. When you finish the basement, go to the first floor, and then the attic if you have one, or just cover. If you can't get to the attic, well, you just maybe do what you can, but at least try to be thorough. While you're doing this, obviously you'll have some ashes that may be falling, so be careful. And maybe if you have somebody that can help you to get the smoke to go to the corners and get everything covered, that'll be great. But while you're doing this, you need to be saying either prayers or telling the spirits, please leave my home. You need to be stern, but you need to be respectful too. But you need to let the spirits know that this is your home, this is your property. You own it, and they're not welcome. But tell them to leave, maybe recite some prayers and so on. Now, once you kind of direct all of this smoke that throughout the house toward the front door. And another thing is spirits hate the smell of sage, so anything sage will really work. I'm going to get me some spray, I think. But so you get to the front door. Now, that's where the holy water comes in. This holy water, it says it's spring water that was blessed by a Reiki master and also a minister of a local area church. So it's just, it's holy water. You go to the front door of your house now, and you want to bless the door. You'll get some of this water, make a cross on your door, or whatever your belief system is. I'm going to do a cross, and that's the one thing you do. Then you take some, while you're still at the front door, you'll take some black salt. Now, you always see white salt on TV, but black salt is actually more powerful. And you take the black salt, and you also take this banishing spell mix. You mix these two together. I would dump this into this bag, shake it up, and then you're going to take this mixture you've made and sprinkle it on the threshold of your door. So that's another layer. So you've got all these layers of protection that you're building up. Now, so you're not done yet though, because once you do that, you got to go to the other doors, the back door, and also do the holy water, sprinkle some of this mixture at the threshold of that door. Then go to any other entrances or exits of your house. You need to have your bases covered. So that is what is in the ghost busting kit. Simple as that. Now, we'll come back, and when we come back, I'm going to give you some additional tips, things that I use, as well as this little kit. By the way, that kit's only $15. I think it's a really good deal because I know I've bought all this stuff separately before, and it would be way over $15. So $15, they're not making any profit on this. They're really trying to help people. But this is a do-it-yourself kind of ghost busting kit. So when we come back, I'm going to give you a little bit more advice and some other tips that I utilize to get rid of ghosts.
Losing weight's a lot harder than gaining it, but with every step I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease, and that makes every step very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
So, I just went through a little ghost busting kit. That's what they call it, a ghost busting kit or spirit clearing. Now, I said this was only like $15 and they're pretty much it's a do-it-yourself ghost busting kit. Now, however, we finished that, and there are some other things that I do to further protect myself. So I'm going to tell you that. Basically, in the kit, it had black salt, and we use that over the thresholds. But one thing that I do a lot is use white salt. And white salt, you want to put that around the perimeter of your house, okay, like all around, or even if you want to, go and put it around the perimeter of your property. Basically like a line all the way around your property, again, to keep the spirits out. You would do this after you do all the other stuff that I just talked about, when you've gotten them out of your house and you want them to stay away. That's just like almost like an invisible wall to keep them away. Now, another thing I do, personally do actually, is I put mirrors in my windows. Now I bought some little mirrors about this big, like at Michael's. They're like craft mirrors. They don't have to, they don't have to be huge. Basically what they do is you put the mirror facing out toward the street, okay? And so if anybody's sending negative energy to you, or you have some enemies, or even if the spirits are trying to get in, believe it or not, even though it's a little mirror, it reflects them away. It sends them away. And it also, I think it probably might scare them too when they see themselves. So it's like twofold there. Holy water. We had holy water in the first segment. Holy water is always, ghost hunters always carry some holy water. And we talked about using the holy water at the doors. Well, I also, being an antiques and collectibles dealer, and I have a lot of supposed haunted objects in my house. I collect dolls, for one. Now, dolls I have found, and I think most people would agree, that the odds of finding a haunted object, if you find a doll, the doll will be haunted over any other kind of object. That's because dolls resemble human beings, and when spirits want to find a vessel to inhabit, a lot of times they go for dolls. So I, for one, go and sprinkle a little holy water on my dolls, because I never know which ones are going to have something attached to it. Another thing are mirrors. I've experienced mirrors being portals to the other side. And I know some people don't believe in portals, but I really do believe that mirrors are a doorway between here and the other side. And so I also go around and put the mark of a cross on my mirrors. And so those two things, and anything else that you have that you think, this is creeping me out. You have this gut feeling that something isn't right about an object in your house. You're welcome to just put a little bit of holy water on there, just to ease your mind. Now, as I talked in the first segment about the crystals, the protection crystals, I'm reaching over to get the ones from the first segment. Okay, again, we had black obsidian, amethyst, and hematite. Well, if you don't want to carry these rocks around with you, these crystals, people make jewelry out of them. And that's what I'm going to show you. My bracelet, my friend Melva and Kathleen at the Crystal Wand gave this to me. And it's made out of these three protection crystals. We got amethyst, black obsidian, and hematite. So if you want to be like fashionable, just get a bracelet like this and you are protected. I have to say they gave me this bracelet when they knew that I was going somewhere where I was going to have some people that are enemies of mine. And it just made me feel comforted. But I'll tell you this, I really expected some negative interaction between me and this other person. Nobody came near me. I really do believe this bracelet worked. It was given to me with good intentions, and I wore it, and it worked. Now, this is a pretty cool story, and I never really knew this, but this is a hematite ring, and it's made out of this protection crystal. I have it on today, and I don't know if you all know the story about these, but you're going to want it. And this was only about $2, but this crystal is supposed to protect you, keep negative energy away from you, right? So when you wear it as a ring, it will absorb that negative energy. But when it has had enough, when it has taken on all the negative energy that it can handle, it cracks. And so far, and it'd be funny if this cracked right now while I'm talking to you. I don't wear it all the time, but when I go somewhere where I know there may be spirits, there may be negative people, put the ring on. When it cracks, basically you throw it away and get another one. They're only $2. So you'll be looking for these now, I know, because I thought it was a really cool story. Another thing I do, and again, you just can't have enough protection. You protect yourself, you protect your surroundings, and then, you're ready to combat anything that's coming your way, whether it be negative people at work, enemies, or ghosts, whatever. So one other thing that I do is protection salt baths. Basically, you can get these at a metaphysical store. They come with a little mixture of salts and kind of a blend of different things. And you also get a candle. You get in the tub, and you get a little bag because you don't want to ruin your plumbing. So you put all these things, all the salts into this little bag. You get in the tub, you put the salts in, you light the candle, and you meditate. And you meditate and you think about, I'm protected, I have a protection bubble around me, I'm sending all the negative energy away, and you just relax, and it does the work for you. So, when you're doing these spirit clearing methods, intent is very important. You have to somewhat believe in what you're doing. If you're just, and I want to put my ring back on, by the way, maybe it'll protect me from anything in here. Supposedly there is a spirit, and we have encountered a few spirits during the filming of shows here. So, but you have to believe in what you're doing. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work. It's all about intention. And So when you're going around and you've protected yourself, you go around and do the smudging process and the holy water and all that, you're telling the spirits, you know, I'm taking back the control. I'm taking back the power. I'm taking back the control of my space. But, you know, you don't want to be obnoxious. You want to be somewhat respectful. You don't want to provoke a spirit ever. You want them to leave. But, you know, if you tick them off, they might actually react worse. So, another thing, spirit cleansings or clearings are not permanent. You must do them regularly. And I have to say, I don't do them as regularly as I should. If you're dealing with the paranormal, if you're doing seances, if you're going to conventions where you're running into these type of people that do this stuff, if you're going to antique stores, you never know what's going to come home with you, whether it's in an item you purchased or just a spirit that just followed you home. So you'll realize, like, if you're watching the show and you're really serious about getting rid, you know you have a spirit in your house, something like this, as simple as, at the very least, get the sage and do the sage step, at the very least. That usually does the trick. But if you really want to be thorough, do all the things that I've told you to do. And ultimately, you need to do this regularly, though. For one, I get to the point where I hear something, I see something, things are happening in my house a lot. I'll get to the point where I have a breaking point where I go, oh, I have to sage today. I have to go and do this. And it does take a while to do this and go through every corner of your house. I know people that do this like every day because they're so deep into the paranormal field and the metaphysics. And so you know, I for one probably do it quarterly, maybe every, 3 months. I will do it, especially if things start acting up. When you do a clearing, when you do a cleansing, if you really have your heart in it and you really do believe that it's going to work, when you're done, especially when you're done with the sage, you will feel it. The environment will feel different. It will, maybe it was heavy before. It will feel light. You will feel that you've gotten rid of the spirits if you did it right. Now, and also if you just have your, typical ghost or spirit there. Now, if you have something that's negative, dark, evil, you may need to go and call in the professionals. You might not want to do it yourself. Either call in somebody in the paranormal field that does this. Some people do charge a fee because these items do cost money, but as you can see, it's not really expensive. Or if it's really bad, go to your church, call your clergy in, have them come in and help you. So if all else, so it should feel like lightness. It should feel light after you do all these things. You should feel like these spirits are gone. And I, for one, I'll go for a few months and I don't feel anything and I feel like, oh yeah, it worked and I can sleep at night and nobody's knocking on the mirror or whatever. I'm not hearing something walking down the hall. And you'll go for a period where there's no activity. But when it starts amping up again, that's when you need to do this again. That's when you need to do it. You really should do it more regularly. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, call in a paranormal group, call your church. The church isn't going to come and do all this. They're going to come with the holy water. They're going to do blessings and that kind of thing. If you call in a paranormal group, they'll probably do most of this stuff. So I hope I've helped you. When I first did it the first time that I did a clearing, I wasn't sure if I believed. I thought, this is like hocus pocus, But I was desperate because I wasn't sleeping at night. I was terrified. Things were happening nonstop in my home. And when I did it, it was just like a miracle, really. So give it a try if you have a haunting in your house or in your space. And you can go to any metaphysical store. I usually go to one in Gettysburg. I'm not allowed to promote any specific stores, but I think there's one maybe in, there's one in Manassas in Old Town, there's one in Occoquan, but I go to a regular store in Gettysburg. There's a few in Gettysburg, so, and I stock up. Hey, you know, buy a bunch of, you never can have enough sage. That's all I can say. So, I hope, you know, let me know if you do try cleansing and clearing your home. Let me know how it works. Let me know if I've helped you. And I'd really be interested in hearing from you. So, thank you for watching another episode of the Evermore Paranormal Network. Until next time, peace out.
So in the end, what have I said is only that I'm sure. For all I know about this place is that I call it Evermore.